Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a new episode of Eve Echoes. In tonight's show, we will be discussing the CONCORD Commendations, the one for the bounty extra rewards that you get for killing NPCs. But before that, let us announce the community question of the week winners. These three lucky winners basically won one Omega combo clone each, which is worth 30 days of Omega Duo. And the past week's community question was, do you have any hopes for any event that NetEase might introduce in the future? And the first winner is Hidden Game Seeker LP with the comment, well, with the new event that they just made an announcement about, I have pretty high hopes. Again, because it just sounds like something new and awesome, where we actually need to undock to maybe play a new war game mode, or explore and shoot whatever there is in that new constellation. I mean, of course, we will be able to spend Oplex and Aurum again, but maybe we are finally getting an actual in-game event on top of that. I really hope that it's not going to end up like that Sun Chaser stuff that we had before, where we basically found Concord exploration with Plex for some lucky nanocore drop. Yeah, we've had patch notes or event notes prior to launch about some amazing things that we will be doing in some of those events, and surprise, surprise, it wasn't actually what it was mentioned. It was just something else entirely, and much more simpler. That took only 5 minutes or 10 minutes, or involves a serious dump of Plex or Aurum to benefit from some, I don't know, lucky spin machine. Congratulations, Hidden Game Seeker LP. Let's move over to our second winner of today, which is Ben G with the comment, the Egg Hunt event is another cash grab, and to be honest, it isn't even a decent attempt at one. I guess they were working on better things, but then why not just rerun an old event? I do hope that they come up with some better events, but as time has seen, they've just gotten worse over time. I hope to God they rerun the Halloween event, but even then, they'll probably come up with some wheel-spinning gambling wheel to open the crates or some such nonsense. Does anyone actually like these? I get that they need to make money to keep the game alive. Things like the Comet Core for £5 are a decent addition. Not going to break the game, and you either buy it or you don't. Congratulations, Ben G. Let's move over to our third and final winner, which is Hib187. With the comment, ridiculous event, I agree. I dropped $20 on Aurum to get enough spins to land the core on the wheel, then didn't proceed any further. I sold the capsule skin on the market for 200 million ISK. I don't die enough to care about watching my capsule skin change colors. Just stupid in my opinion. As for future events, yes, I have hope for better content. Sadly, history hasn't shown me that we're likely to get it. Although the comments are pretty saddening, there is hope. I can say I have hope. Having read the patch notes of the event that will arrive on April 28th, it could be awesome, but just as well, the description might be awesome. Just that. Congratulations, Hib187. Congratulations to all three lucky winners. A big thank you to all of you who participated in this giveaway. Remember, stick around until the end of the video because we'll be having yet another community question of the week with, of course, a new giveaway with 3 new Omega combo clones ready to give out to 3 lucky winners next week. And remember last time when we discussed about the commendations, we actually read about them in the balance patch and the balance adjustments. Right now, it's an interesting mechanic. And initially, my thoughts were, well, they give this to generate more ISK on top of the already insurmountable amounts of ISK that people are generating either via Nullsec or via Highsec Islands. And of course, there are some ISK generation in Lowsec, but, you know, it's not that great because we do storylines in Lowsec and people tend to hunt you and all that. But there is ISK generation in Lowsec. It's just highly risky. Anyway, my initial claim was that the Highsec Islands, even with this CONCORD Commendations, is still probably going to be on par with Nullsec bounty rewards plus the Commendations, because in Nullsec you usually do things in a fleet and the bounty rewards get split one too many times in some occasions, while in Highsec you just run encounter after encounter after encounter. Although they have been limited right now to just 40 or 50, depends on your case, encounters per day. I don't think, unless you're a bot farmer, I for one, casual player, did not manage to finish up 20. I'm around 10 missions per day during the day that I play, because I don't always get to play. Sometimes I do just some like swapping around, doing some exploration, and of course doing some PvP, because I really enjoy PvP. So here we are, almost a week has passed, and we can actually look at some data, compare the two instances of null ratting versus Highsec Island missions. So what happens in Highsec Islands? You will just complete encounter after encounter, depends on how many encounters you will be completing in a 20-minute span, which is the time interval for a bounty reward to trigger. All the bounties are being summed up together, and at the end of those 20 minutes, the bounties are paid out to the player. So it all depends on how fast you are, how good of a ship you have. Remember, we did touch on that. There's the Dominic Sue, Rattlesnake, Apex Striker, the Macarial. There's a bunch of ships that can get some considerable amount of ISK from Highsec Islands, with the Apex Striker in the lead with around 100 million ISK per hour. But that is the sum of ISK totaled with the mission rewards plus the bounty rewards. And after the bounty ticks that you receive in your wallet, you can actually click on the information box for that bounty tick, and you can apply. There's a button there. You can apply to get a CONCORD Commendation for that bounty reward, which will just give you the same amount that the bounty tick had a second time. So for example, if I manage to run, let's say, 2 encounters in 20 minutes, and I get like 10 or 11 or 12, then at the end of 20 minutes, when I get my bounty reward tick, if I tap on that, I'll get another, let's say, 10, 12 million. But something is left out of the picture, and that is the rewards for the encounters themselves, which is a pretty good sum of ISK. You do get 12 million per the bounty tick, but you get 6 million to 7 million from the encounter rewards, the one that given to the player after completing an encounter. And those don't get counted when you hit and apply for the CONCORD Commendation. Now let's compare this to Nullsec. What happens there's no encounters, you'll just rat and rat and rat, and what happens is you'll probably do around, let's give out a round number, let's say 20 million ISK, right? Depends on how fast you clear stuff and how fast you deal with the NPCs. Mind you that in Nullsec, glass cannon fits don't last long, because there's always the possibility of some incursion from an enemy or from some random guys that just came from Highsec and Lowsec and just want some PvP. They might catch you off guard, and if you have a glass cannon, even that Macarial looks a little shady. Unless there's people up to back you up and you're not running it solo, then you might be good. But usually people in Nullsec don't use the types of fit that are suitable for Highsec. Glass cannon fits, sniper fits, fits that completely disregard tanking or any E-War capability, like fitting energy neutralizers, fitting all sorts of stuff that help you resist in case somebody comes knocking at the door. So in the end, the amount that an Nullsec player might get just from the bounty rewards, if it's above 15 million in that 20 minutes mark, then the commendations plus the initial bounty reward will be above 30 million, which is slightly more than the Highsec Islands player receiving the bounty commendations plus his entire income for that specific 20 minutes. But we need to consider that in Nullsec we also have those special anomalies, which do tend to pop up from time to time, especially in systems that are highly farmed. The spawn rate of those special anomalies tends to be a bit higher, and of course doing those will result in much more ISK per bounty tick. So it's safe to assume that the bounty commendations, the ones doubling your bounty rewards income, are definitely helping Nullsec players, because they will be able to generate more bounties out of the stuff that they run over there, as compared to the Highsec Islands folks that just do encounters and that's it. So in the long run, Nullsec players will be receiving more ISK per 20 minutes than the Highsec Island players. And that's not just an assumption, that's tested and validated. And it makes a lot of sense. Now this is something great that they did. They did not nerf entirely the Highsec Islands. Instead, they added more incentive to farm in Nullsec, which is awesome. Aside from the casual players that benefit from the Highsec Islands, there's also plenty of people that exploit the hell out of those Highsec Islands, and that specific group of players has not been dealt with yet. We don't know if we're ever going to see like a fix, or anyway that 40, 50 encounters restriction per day is it can be completely ignored. Players who exploit Highsec Islands usually don't have just one tune, and believe me, they probably have many more alts and they just run them simultaneously, one after the other, so the amount of ISK that is generated out of Highsec Islands is still a danger. So we've reached that point in the video where we announce the next community question of the week, and this week's question is, given the balance patch deployment last week, what is your current preferred tanking method? Is it shield or is it armor? Or after the balance patch, have you switched between them? Don't forget that in order to participate, you need to drop a comment below with your in-game name and your character ID plus the answer to the community question. And next Monday we will be having the next reveal of 3 lucky winners. So get a shot at one of those 3 Omega combo clones. That's it for today. I hope you guys learned something. Thank you guys for watching. A very big shout out to my channel supporters, and I'll see you guys next time. Cheers.